my mom and dad called me and said, come over and have dinner. We hadn't seen y'all in a while. So we went over there on a Sunday afternoon, and my dad had just quit private practice. My dad's a psychiatrist, and he had just quit private practice. And one of his shrink buddies told him, said, man, you need to start looking at this thing. You can go to work in the prison system. He says, great, you can work like 1 day or 2 days or whatever you want. He said, you'll love it. So my dad went for 1 day. Next thing I know, he's working 5 days a week doing prison work, male prisoners. So I hadn't talked to him since he started. So we're over there, and I said, hey, man, how you like this prison thing? He said, man, it's awesome. He said, I can see my first patient at 4:30 in the morning. It's awesome. He said, no secretary, so I get my check every Friday. He said, it's the best job I've ever had. I make as much money now as I did in private practice. And I said, well, what do you do when you do your workup and stuff on them? He said, because, as growing up as a kid of a psychiatrist, you have to do a workup on you, a history on your stuff. He said, stay there in prison. The workup's already done. I said, well, come on, Dad, give me something. What is different about working with male prisoners than anybody else? He said, oh, but I figured out what the first question is I ask every one of my prisoners. I said, what's that? He said, my first question I asked him says, when's the last time that you've talked to your mom? He said, because I have figured out that if the boy's in jail and his mom has given up on him, whatever he did, it must have been bad. I got thinking about that. He's right. How bad do you have to screw up where your mom won't come see you, write you, call you, send you an email? So a couple days later, I'm at my office. I'm sitting there at my desk, and I'm thinking, my mom sure does know a lot of people, and she ain't never sent me a customer. Am I a bad dude? And the more I thought about it, the madder I got. Because my mom does know a lot of people. And so I got in my car and I drove over to my mom's house. And it was like a Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She's outside in her garden. My mom hadn't worked in years. And I pull up and she's like, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I came to tell you that we're not going to have Christmas at my house this year. She said, well, we can't have that. You need some money? Remember, I got 3 of her grandkids, right? We can't have that. I said, she said, why don't you have any money? I said, well, I don't have any customers. She said, well, why don't you have any customers? I said, Mom, how do you think I get my customers? She said, well, everybody, they just call you. I said, Mom, I know you, and you've never had anybody call me. And she said, I didn't know you needed me to. And it hit me that the people that know us and love us and care about us want to help us. They just don't know, or they don't know how. So at that moment, I realized I had to do something dramatic. I had to paint a picture for my mom of what it was I was looking for. You see, I said, Mom, when you're having your little tea parties and your dinners and your cocktail parties with all your little friends, I said, like if somebody's getting divorced and they're saying they're going to have to take a job, they got to get a job because they got divorced and they're going to be a real estate agent. I said, I want to meet her. Those ladies that ride around in their big red Cadillacs and they got signs, they got the big boo-foo hairdos, got the cards, got the big gold triple platinum something. I said, that's the people I need to know. And since that day, my mom has sent me 1 or 2 leads a month because she now knows exactly what I'm looking for.